video. This is being recorded on Thursday night before the Spurs fixtures. So game week 14 has not yet been fully completed, but the fixtures are coming in quick. So has to be made a bit earlier. Today we're just going to go through which best players to buy for game week 15 and our thoughts for game week 15 and how the team is shaping up for game week 15. To go quickly into our predicted points, we're going to go through this is our weekly schedule where we go through the predicted points per position. In goalkeeping, Raya is still ahead for game week 15, estimated at around 3.9 points. We have Onana coming in second position at 3.8, and then Ariza Balaga Kepa coming in at 3.7. It's important to note that the fixtures for Arsenal, they play Fulham next, they play Everton, they play Crystal Palace and Ipswich. So the fixtures look good because having both Everton and Ipswich in their next 5 fixtures does really help to increase the projected points or predicted points for Raya at almost 20 in the next 5 game weeks. We do have Onana, who also does play Bournemouth and Wolves in his next fixtures. So that's some very good predicted points as well for him, as well as Kepa Arrizabalaga, that's for Bournemouth. They do play Ipswich as well, Crystal Palace and West Ham in their next 5. So those are some of the key goalkeepers to be looking out for. Going through to our defenders, it's being led by Trent Alexander. He did have a very good fixture last night, came off the bench. Slot did mention that his minutes were to be managed since he was coming off an injury, and we did notice yesterday he didn't start the game, but he did manage to come off the bench and at least provide 2 assists, making him the highest, I think, assisting defender ever, close to 60 assists in his time of playing, and he's still a very young chap. So that's something good for the Liverpool team. The entire top 3 is being led by Liverpool because of their fixture. I think they do have a Merseyside derby, which is the early kickoff for game week 15, it's the first match for game week 15. But much as this is a derby, they are projected to be around 4.8. So the clean sheet predictions for Liverpool are quite high. So Trent is estimated at around 4.8, Robertson 4.5, and Virgil at 4.1. The only other maybe notable inclusion that I should talk about is Stupinian, and this is because of the Brighton good fixtures as we've already mentioned. In their next 5, they play Leicester, they play Crystal Palace, West Ham, and Brentford, and I think Fulham, which they are playing tonight. Julian Timber does continue to make an appearance because, as we said, Arsenal's defense is really top notch and is something that we all need to have in our teams. Going through to our midfielders, Salah, it's a no-brainer. He's at the top of it here. To go through some of the fixtures that he plays next, I think some of you may decide to set him as your captain and just leave him for a while. He does play Everton on the weekend, then Fulham next, Spurs, which is the only tricky one in the next 5, then Leicester, and then lastly West Ham in the next 5-6 game weeks. So his points are really projected high at around 34.5 in the next 5 game weeks, and is the highest scoring midfielder predicted this game week at 6.6. So for those that are deciding who they think maybe could become a captain, this also can try to help you see who you get to choose, maybe between Salah, Palmer. Bruno Fernandes does make an appearance as well, Saka, and then lastly Son in our top 5 for our midfielders. It's important to note that Rogers did also score and assist, I think, in the midweek. The fixtures for Aston Villa do look good as well. They do play Southampton and Nottingham Forest the next 2. Then maybe there they do play Manchester City. Then the fixture is still going to look good. Another important person that doesn't actually appear here is Gordon. The fixtures for Newcastle continue to also look good. They play Brentford. Then they have 2 very good fixtures in game week 16 and 17. So for someone that is targeting someone like Gordon and Isak, I personally would advise bringing them in for those 2 game weeks 16 and 17 where they play Leicester and Ipswich back to back. Those will look like very good fixtures for them. Getting to the strikers, Haaland, I think, did look sharper in midweek, and I think him playing alongside Kevin De Bruyne does really boost his chances of returning as well. He did come through with an assist, so fingers crossed for those that are still holding on to him. The fixtures for Man City also are good. They do play Crystal Palace this weekend, then Manchester United there for the Manchester Derby, Aston Villa. Then they have a very good run after game week 18, which I personally may be looking forward to for someone like Kevin De Bruyne, depending on if he can keep fit, where they play Everton, Leicester, and West Ham in the next 3 game weeks after game week 18. That would look very good for Haaland as well. It's no no-brainer. Watkins, whom we did note, I think is now back on the set pieces, especially the penalties. He did take a penalty in the midweek, so which at least increases the boosts his chances of always returning. So he does make it in second position. Havertz as well, Joao Pedro, who's yet to play today, and Isak, whom I mentioned earlier, because the fixtures for Newcastle do look good after game week 16 onwards. Those are our predicted points for our different assets in each position. I hope this is helpful for you. Otherwise, FPL responsibly and catch you next time.